Hello and welcome to another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm your host, Shay Wheat, founder of Grace and Ease Productions. And today our guest is, check this out. He's a British author. He's a piano player. He's an international racing driver and a business coach. Jonny Cooper is the founder of JonnyHatesMarketing.com. So Jonny supports coaches and therapists with his client attraction blueprint program filled with eager students every single month and runs the legendary Jonny Hates Marketing Facebook group. You guys, he really, really does hate marketing. Please help me welcome Jonny to the Creating Powerful Impact stage. What's up, Jonny?
Woo, woo, woo. I was just waiting for a round of applause and some whoops from the audience.
Right?
It was such a great introduction now. Thank you. It's great to be here, Shay. It really is.
I'm excited to have you because, okay, let's just start with the huge elephant. Why do you hate marketing? What is it? What parts do you hate? What does it mean? What does it look like? Just spill the tea.
Yeah, I mean, look, in its purest sense, I hate all the complexity of marketing and funnels and the belief that you have to build some massive infrastructure before you can actually start earning any money. I mean, that's one of the great myths, isn't it? Spun by marketers and gurus and all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you how the name came about. This wasn't an idea of mine. When I first launched this business, I thought I'd landed on the brand of the century because I called it The Success Party. Okay. And I managed to find the .com, thesuccessparty.com. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Yeah, fun.
Nobody else agreed. It didn't work. And I was on a podcast in kind of mid 2017, I guess. And the podcast host, Canadian guy, still a good friend of mine, we were talking about rubbish marketing ideas and the types of marketing that we had been subject to, from incoming DMs and stuff like that. So we're generally kind of ridiculing a lot of the marketing that's sitting around us every day, And he just said, spoiler alert, Jonny hates marketing. And I just went, say that again. That sounds pretty cool, that does. Anyway, within days, I'd rebranded my whole ecosystem for Jonny Hates Marketing, called the Facebook group Jonny Hates Marketing. People were just hitting me up from the minute it went live, just going, love the name of your group. I hate marketing too, And it just seemed like, with the tribe that I service, generally speaking, starter or early stage coaches, therapists, consultants, those kind of people, who some of them haven't even found their first client yet. Mm-hmm. And most of them certainly haven't really found their momentum, their mojo, if you like. Mm-hmm. It just seems like a great framing because they don't want to spend a minute longer than they have to on marketing. They resent every second that they're hanging around in Facebook. They just want to be with clients and helping them and changing their lives. So the whole hates marketing idea was just fortuitous, serendipitous, you might say.
Yeah. Okay.
But it just fell out of heaven, really, and I've stuck with it. Seems to be working.
Yeah. Now that you've kind of explained it a little bit more, I'm totally with you, because we'll have people come to us on the event side, and they're like, "Oh, I want to do this event," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Where are you at? What phase of event leverage are you in?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm just starting out," and I'm like, "Then you don't do an event." Like, no, don't do the challenges, don't do the summits, all of the marketing that is out there of like, this is how you get clients. But no, your job is to get 10 clients, get them crazy awesome results, rinse and repeat, so you have income coming in.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it pains me, Shay. You're absolutely right. I'm sure this is a universal malaise around the world, really, They come fresh out of kind of coaching school or learn some NLP or something. And then some wise guy tells them they've got to build a funnel or they've got to do a 5-day challenge. Oh, here's the kicker. You'll love this one. The worst advice that anybody gets when they're first starting out is, you've got to start a podcast. Start a podcast. What? What do you mean? You haven't got an audience. Who's going to
Right.
listen to your podcast, for
You
God's
don't
sake?
know who you're serving. You don't know what problem you're really solving. Like that doesn't happen
Exactly.
until you have clients, and then you
Until
tweak
you
and
have
adjust.
clients. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's the market
Shay and I,
research.
you and I could be business partners. We're so aligned
So in
here. It's
alignment.
absolutely bloody
Oh,
right. I'll tell you what sums this up, what you and I are talking about right now. It's a wonderful little acronym. It's one of my mantras. ABC, audience before content. I don't care how you create your content, what kind of content it is, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, posts, articles, Medium, all that kind of stuff, emails. You can't project it to nobody. You can't broadcast to nobody. So build an audience, like you just said, Shay. Start a conversation with one person that looks like your next ideal client. Enroll them, work with them, change their lives, and tell that story to other people. And just go on and on. You've got to start somewhere. ABC, audience before content. It's so valuable, that. And if only practitioners starting out would just grasp that, understand what it means, they wouldn't be dragged into spending thousands of dollars on ludicrous ideas and trainings and specialist niches, where all they need to do is develop the art of conversation, open their eyes and look for someone who looks like the next ideal client.
somebody who can actually help
we
and
suggest. Just tap on the shoulder and say, hey, you know what? I might be able to help you with that.
Right.
Let's have a chat, see if I can share something useful. I might have an idea for you. But just developing the art to create those couple of little teaser phrases. I might have an idea for you. Let's have a chat, see what pops out. These are the really gentle, friendly, helpful expressions you can use just to engage people. And if you do that 5 or 6 times a week, you can't help but stumble over some business. It doesn't matter how bad you are at sales. Someone's going to pay you for something, aren't they?
Yeah, right. But I think you're right. It's the intention that you're coming with, right? And then it becomes a numbers game as well.
Yeah,
as long as
absolutely.
you're tracking those details, you can go, okay, I talked to 10, or, I reach out to 10 people, 2 people respond back to me, one of them jumps on the phone with me, right? Like you just start to know your numbers, and then it becomes a numbers game.
Well, you've also got to grow up and be adult and
you have to grow up. What do you mean you have to grow up, Jonny? That stinks.
Well, you got to develop
Okay.
a thick skin as well, because out of those 10 that you mentioned, one of them is going to tell you to get lost. One of them's going to say, how dare you DM me? How rude. What kind of a marketer are you? All this kind of thing. So you got to take that in your stride as well. It's a numbers game. One of those people is going to be rude too. 4 of those people are going to ignore you completely. Right.
Yeah.
And it gets more interesting when you think of the 1 or 2 that you're actually going to engage and start to talk to them. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I love it. Now, would you mind explaining? I've heard and I kind of read a little bit about the social cocoon method.
Right.
What is that? Tell me more. I'm curious.
Well, I'm enraptured with the idea of creating a community, right? And a vibrant community who regard you as their leader, as an authority, and say it quietly, but developing the cult of you, not in a bad cult sense, but in a good cult sense. And this is kind of what the social cocoon method speaks to. That actual framing is a thing. It was developed by some academics in California, I think, in the 80s. They did this kind of study of some successful organizations, and by successful that they meant that people were addicted to them. They were sticky to them. They didn't leave once they were inside. So obviously they looked at kind of religious organizations where their members never leave and go to another religious organization. But they extended that to say, like, football fandom, sports fans. If you support the New York Yankees, I don't know much about American football, but
I mean, I watch. My household, we ended up watching your football, soccer.
Right.
in
But
our
it's
house.
okay. So if you support Manchester United,
Oh,
never in a
no,
million years are you going to support Manchester City, right? And vice versa.
flip them.
The two will never flip.
Yeah.
So, in some ways, that they've created this social cocoon by definition, which is once you're in there, you feel safe, you feel nurtured, you feel wanted, you feel part of a community, you feel like there's something going on that's exclusive to you, that's better than you could get if you went into the other social cocoon, if you like. So my teaching on that is around, create a community which is solely yours, give them exclusive content, make them feel safe and valued and nurtured, make them feel like there's something new and amazing happening in there. And that'll create this stickiness, this loyalty, so that they don't go anywhere else for the services that you offer. That they're simply part of your world, if you like. There's other examples of social cocoons, great things like, MLM organizations. I'm not particularly behind MLM. I don't partake in it myself. Multi-level marketing, network marketing, as they've rebranded it. But you know for sure that somebody who in there selling Arbonne isn't suddenly going to leap out and start selling Avon or one of the competitors. They hang around in there because they feel nurtured and wanted. And those organizations are very good, aren't they, at creating that kind of social cocoon type thing, which just wraps people up and makes them feel warm and wanted and sticky and all the rest of it. So the training that I do is based, as you can probably imagine, around a Facebook group. So the communities on Facebook and groups are really powerful and really, capable of creating this kind of social cocoon feel to them if they're done properly. And, I'm a sort of living embodiment of that with my 7,000 member group, as are many of my clients. Once you get it, the key bits to it are kind of inviting the right people in and repelling everybody else. So this speaks to your understanding of your ideal client. One of the first things we talked about with the audience before content. Then when they're in there, you've got to engage them, and you need to develop a simple strategy that you can employ every single day to identify the right people who look like your next ideal client. And as we've already talked about, Shay, invite them into a conversation so you can hopefully get them over the line as a paying client. But it's certainly much easier to do that when they're all sitting around in front of you in your own community and try and do that cold on LinkedIn or Instagram or anywhere, just trying to hit people up from your own kind of instinct and radar. It's much easier when they're already in your own community because they've already bought into you.
Yeah.
They've already bought into you by being part of your social cocoon. So that's what the method is all about. It's about the principle of, I sometimes use a fishing analogy. You probably like this. Most people are fishing for clients in a fast-moving river where other anglers are sitting next to them and that everybody's dipping their hook into the same bit of water. It's moving fast because people are dashing past and scrolling past, right? If you get the analogy, stay with the metaphor here.
Yeah.
People are scrolling, which is like the fish swimming really quickly past you. You might catch a little tiddler every now and again. People are going to hook an old boot, aren't you, and pull that out as well. But if you contrast that with the idea of creating your own fishing lake, let's say you've got enough space in your garden, you fill it with your own koi carp and breed and create more koi carp, right? And there's only you allowed to fish in it. You get the metaphor now? You see where we're going with this?
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of having your own community on Facebook, isn't it? Where nobody else is allowed to fish. If you spot on fishing in there, you boot them out, right? And everybody in there sees you as the leader, as the authority, the person who's going to be talking to them on a daily basis and helping them and nurturing them and all the rest of it. So, that's the social cocoon in a nutshell.
I love that. And then you're doing the ABC piece in there, right? You're building the audience, giving them the content once they're part of your world.
That's the precursor, isn't it? You can't create a community of your ideal clients until you've identified who your ideal client is, until you really deeply understand them. And this is often overlooked, I think, but part of the ICA piece, the ideal client avatar piece for your listeners, it's not just identifying who they are, but working out where they hang out so you can go and hang out with them.
Yeah.
Because, lots of times coaches say to me, Jonny, I know exactly who my ideal client is. I just can't find them. And the obvious retort to that is, well, they're not your ideal client, are they? Because they'll never become your client if you can't find them, right?
Yeah.
So a really integral part of the ICA work we do is, okay, these are your people, but they must conform to 3 criteria. A, you've got to be able to find them. B, you've got to be able to solve a big, expensive problem for them. And C, they've got to be able to afford to pay you. And provided those 3 criteria are met, generally speaking, we'll find that, you know, a coach or consultant has got quite a wide choice of an ICA. You've just got to pick one, haven't you? You could pick one to get started. Say,
Yeah.
these are the people I'm going to serve. These are my tribe. You know, this is my crowd. If you know. Yeah, it's simpler than a lot of people make out, isn't it?
When it really boils down to it, yeah, it's like, who's your audience? What do you support them with? Are they able to pay for it? Okay, great.
Where are they?
Where are they? Yeah.
And then go hang out where they are.
If they're all over the place, then why not create your own little cocoon to support them in one location instead of trying to go and find them in multiple spots? Just create your own space, and then everything leads to that one space, right?
That's really important. So that serves you as the practitioner, because, you know, instead of doing all the socials, all you've got to do is hang out in your Facebook group. And it serves them too, because you've got this clear pathway then. And what you'll notice with my stuff, and, you know, my clients that I teach this stuff, the Facebook group becomes the hub of all things, if you like. So when you show up on Instagram or LinkedIn, there's just one link to click to join the community, click to join the community, click to join the community.
And then your message is clear too, right?
Like, it's just clear too. This is what you want them to do. It's a single call to action.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about the idea of an MWA. I'm sure you've come across that, the most wanted action. What do you want people to do when they come across you, either on your webpage, you know, on your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, Instagram? What do you want to do? There's no point in just wanting them to like a picture or something like that. What you want them to do is to become part of your community, leap into your social cocoon, so you can nurture a relationship with them, start a conversation, and they get access to all your premium content from there. So that's the kind of simple framing of the organic funnel, isn't it? All roads lead to one point, to your community, if you like.
Yeah, and just keeping it simple, I think, is also important, especially if you're newer to the business space. Well, I mean, even being in business for as long as, you know, I'll be in business for 10 years nearly. And it's like, you still have to remember to keep it simple, right? Like, you don't need all the super complicated things. It's just like, who is you serving?
All businesses get more complex as they get older, because I think it's because we get bored with what we're doing. So we invent something new and add on to it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of pivoting, but I think adding more complexity is always the business killer, because then when people come across it, they go, what the hell is this? I think one of the things that destroys a lot of people's credibility is this trend, which seems to be subsiding a bit now, but for things like Linktree. You know, as soon as I see a link tree on somebody's website, I go, we got a problem here. And then on the link tree, there's like 10 different things that people can do. Well, nobody's going to troll through your link tree. That's just an act of pure ego on your part, if you think that people are going to be that enraptured by you that they're going to go and see you on Instagram, they're going to watch some YouTube videos, and they're going to TikTok, and they're going to connect with you on Twitter. Forget it. Who's going to do that? Why would they do that? You know?
Yeah, the saying, confused mind never buys. You just end up getting confused.
It's one of my favorite phrases. Again, you and I should be business partners. It's perfect. We're perfectly aligned. Oh my God. Absolutely. Well, a confused mind never buys.
I want to touch on something. So you talked about, you know, like as you're growing and scaling, you tend to bring on different things.
Yes.
You've grown and scaled your company. So if we pull back the curtain a bit on your personal company and your journey, has there been like a challenge that's come up in your business, or something that you're like, oh yeah, that was a huge don't do, or anything you would like to
There's
share?
been plenty of those. There's been so many I can't even pick one. But just to flip the question around and say, well, look, the successful strategy has been the single-minded focus on my one program. A wise man that I paid a lot of money 2 years ago told me, one offer, one audience, one funnel. I never forgotten that. And my program is called the Client Attraction Blueprint. It's a 12-week guided coaching program. Launched it in March 2018. And September 2023, we'll be launching, it's called the CAB, Client Attraction Blueprint. We'll be launching CAB 99. So CAB 100 will be in October, which is the 100th consecutive sold out monthly intake of the program. It lasts for 3 months. So we've got 3 running at any one time. It's just started, when that's halfway through, when it's about to finish. But the sheer consistency of that has enabled me to build that as the beating heart of the business, so that every month I've got some certainty, so long as we can make those 4 enrollments, which never seems to be an issue. There's a bit of a waiting list right now. As long as we can do that every month, we know that we've got that core income coming in from the business. And what we've done over the years is we've steadily, ramped up the price of that program as we've increased the value in it and honed it and improved it and that kind of thing. And that's just given us permission from time to time to add on other little things like, retreats and one-off events and stuff like that. But I think if I'd started at day one and said, right, I'm not going to launch anything until I've got my membership thing in place, until I've got my program and I've got my course people can download, and I've thrown all that out into the ether all at once, people just have gone, well, what? What does he want us to buy? So there's never been any of that in my business, and there never is with people that we take through the program, because we teach people exactly that process, to build one program for one audience, and then have one sales process to enroll people in it. And that simplicity is what creates revenue. What creates momentum. And it was only in about year 3 that I actually thought, that'd be nice to have a membership as a follow-on to the CAB. So when people have finished it, we plop them into a membership subscription thing, and they can keep on paying for that and keep on enjoying the value. And indeed, that's what we've done now. We've got about 275 people in the subscription membership thing, as well as that large, back catalogue of people who've been through the CAB as well.
Yeah,
but
so
just starting with one thing.
Yeah,
I think that helps you get over challenges. So common challenges are, why is nobody buying this thing? Why is nobody joining my membership thing? And often that's the audience problem we've identified. You haven't got a big enough audience.
Yeah.
You haven't really given yourself a fair chance of a membership succeeding if you've got nobody to talk to, no one to invite on it, if you like.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think if I can answer your question materially about a particular challenge.
Well, I actually like that you flipped it, and showed what is actually working and what is successful in your business, and how you constantly have people coming in because of it.
Yeah, I have thought of a challenge actually, and this isn't a one-off. This is a regular challenge for me, which is the shiny object syndrome, and a bit of FOMO. Full disclosure, I've done, up until last year, done $1 million in new revenue from new client revenue from the Facebook group on this particular program. So it's not been a disaster, but there are people that we can see all around us who are boasting about 7-figure months, and some lunatic sent me an email the other day about this 8-figure month he'd done, just $12 million in a month. I'm thinking, I want some of that, right? So I'm as tempted as anybody then to sign up to these people. And what you do is you go down a rabbit hole. We've used that phrase earlier before we came on air. You go down a rabbit hole because you spend time with this person, and you suddenly realize that actually what they're doing is not at all transferable to me. Yeah. And this is the big malaise, I think, in our business, the big problem that most starter coaches, they'll get drawn into guru type offers from people who've forgotten what it was like when they were just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore the strategies that they're using now when they're doing 12 million a month have got no relation to the strategies that people need when they're trying to get into six figures.
Yep.
And even build a seven-figure business, an annual seven-figure business, you know.
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest thing I've been guilty of, is wasting time investigating strategies that are not transferable to me.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. You're right, Jonny. Like, we are definitely aligned in a number of different ways, which I appreciate. Sadly, we have to start wrapping up. What is the best way for people to reach out to you, connect with you, and do you happen to have a gift for our audience today?
Well, predictably, given all we've talked about all roads lead to Rome, just join the Facebook group. It's called Jonny Hates Marketing. There's no H in it. If you just type Jonny Hates Marketing in Facebook, you'll find it. Get the hell into the group, because that's where it all happens. And as an entry gift, I will provide you with one of our most sparkling and innovative little ebooks. It's a mini ebook. It's only about 8 pages. It's called the Guaranteed Earnings Template. And when you complete this, you put your own numbers into it. It's a bit of an organic process for you. But once you do it, you'll end up with what we call the golden number. And that golden number is how many sales calls you need to book on a daily basis. And it's such a wonderful, powerful guide, this, because that truly is the golden number. When I say need, how many sales calls you need to book on a daily basis to achieve the revenue that you want to achieve. So rather than just sitting there saying, you know, I want to do 10 grand a month, the Guaranteed Earnings Template will tell you what you need to do to earn 10 grand a month. And it will guarantee, as long as you do that golden number of an input, the output will always be 10 grand a month, for example, if that's how your numbers work. So I'd encourage anybody to grasp that. It's a wonderful little template, if you like, and it gets you to where you want to get to, for sure. And you will only get that by joining Jonny Hates Marketing Facebook group.
Perfect, right?
So go do it.
You're just showcasing exactly what it is that you're preaching, right? So I love that. Last question for you. What is a takeaway or a memorable note you want to leave our audience with today? Well,
I would say this. I would encourage people to reframe marketing. Instead of thinking about it as something that they have to do for them, I have to do marketing so I can get some clients. Reframe it like this. And this is a quote from the fabulous Seth Godin. I'm sure we're all fans of Seth, if we've heard of him. He's a wonderful marketer. On the back of his book, This is Marketing, he defines marketing. It's the best definition of marketing I've ever heard. He says marketing is the generous act of helping someone solve their problem. And if you can take that away, listeners and viewers, it completely flips the idea of marketing being something you do for yourself so you can get some clients. That then feels like high pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas the low pressure way of thinking about it is the generous act of solving someone's problem. Find someone with a problem that you can solve, tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, I might be able to help. And that's your marketing sorted. That's all you ever need to do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I want to also thank our audience for joining us on another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm super excited for you just to take everything that you've learned, all of these lessons, all these golden nuggets, all the resources, start implementing them and create even more impact in your world. Until next time.
That's my dearest wish as well.
Right? I know. Until next time, I hope you all have an outstanding rest of your day. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Creating Powerful Impact podcast. If you are a successful coach, speaker, author, or thought leader who would like to be on this program, simply visit creatingpowerfulimpact.com/guest. If you are someone who got something out of this interview, would you please do me a favor and share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. Also, if you know somebody that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag creating powerful impact. I love seeing all of your posts and great guest selections. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they really mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more about us? Head on over to our website, graceandeaseproductions.com, or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Just look for Grace and Ease Productions on your favorite platform. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.